asked us the question, did you take out the trash? Probably more than any of us care to remember. Well, one day, many of you will have children, and although the basic parenting skills will remain the same, one, however, could be changing. Instead of asking if your son or daughter took the trash out, you could be asking them if they sorted the trash. And if you're wondering what I mean by sort the trash, listen to these staggering environmental statistics. According to the Environmental Sustainability Committee's waste statistics, Americans' total yearly waste could fill a convoy of garbage trucks long enough to wrap around the Earth 6 times and reach halfway to the moon. This year, it is estimated that 222 million tons of waste will be generated by Americans. Since 1950, people in the United States have used more resources than any generations that have lived before them. Each American individual uses up to 20 tons of basic raw materials annually. At the composition level of the average American, at least 4 additional planets worth of resources would be needed to support the planet's 6 billion inhabitants. By comparison, the average North American consumes 10 times as much as the average person living in China and 30 times as much as the average person living in India. With that said, we have a whole lot of trash, so much that we're drowning in it. Unless Americans take a more responsible role in recycling today, we could all be in serious trouble tomorrow. So sort your trash. It is easy to do and will take very little of your time. Recycling is an idea whose time has come. Although it may seem to you that everyone recycles, we really don't. People feel it is time-consuming and a hassle. However, recycling your everyday household products is easy to do, necessary for our environment, and for the future of humanity as we know it. Mostly everything that you put into a trash bag can be reclaimed through recycling. Paper constitutes the largest portion of recycled material. Newspapers have been recycled profitably for decades, and recycling of other paper is growing. Worldwide, newspapers make up 10% of solid waste. USA Today is printed on 100% virgin material due to the quality needs for color printing. Virgin paper pulp prices have soared in recent years, prompting construction for more plants capable of using waste paper. With a little bit of care, much plastic can be recycled as well. And it may seem a little strange to see the word compost on a recycling page, but compost is just recycled plant matter. Food and yard scraps placed in a special bin can reduce half of the volume a family sends to a landfill. To manage growing volume of solid waste, it is necessary to turn to recycling. Recycling has become necessary because landfills are being closed and are causing more damage to our environment. According to the Environmental Protection Agency website, in 2005, U.S. residents, businesses, and institutions produced more than 245 million tons of waste, which is 4.5 pounds of waste per person per day. This poses a problem when the number of landfills in the U.S. are decreasing from 8,000 in 1988 to only 1,654 in 2005. Landfills can cause serious air and water pollution. According to the Miami Herald, Munisport Landfill, a large landfill just outside of Miami, Florida, was shut down after polluting a nearby lake to the extent that fish could no longer live there. The property was then placed on the Superfund list of the nation's most polluted places. Composition of waste in landfills can produce methane gas, which can kill vegetation and increase the spread of diseases such as hepatitis. Despite the education and awareness of global warming and the need to conserve Earth's precious resources, people worldwide continue to live as if there is no limit to our space and resources. America is one of the many countries who do not do its fair share of recycling. According to EnvironmentGreen.com, Austria heads the European Union in its recycling efforts. And Greece, however, falls short, with 10% of its waste being recycled and the remaining 90% going to landfills. many countries' efforts in recycling compared to Greece rather than Austria. Recycling saves energy and reduces pollution. However, the US recycles only 28% of its waste. Approximately 8,550 curbside recycling programs exist in the US, a lower figure than the 8,875 programs in 2003. According to Recycling by Numbers, the good, bad, and ugly of statistics and comparisons, 32.5% of all waste products are recycled in the US. Recycling is required in only 15% of American communities. And although 42% of people say that they recycle, a smaller percentage say that waste disposal is a national concern. This is why it's necessary to be a wise consumer and to determine if the products that you buy will help not hurt the environment. Recycling goods usually are not any more expensive than non-recyclable goods. So consumers should learn what is and isn't recyclable to better our environment. In conclusion, recycling can be the aid to the world's mountains of trash. J. Winston Porter, an administrator for the Environmental Protection Agency, said, "It is in recycling that I see the most early promise for improved solid waste management. If the world community sends less trash to landfills, the closing of another landfill would not be a crisis." Will Stager, author of Saving the Earth, says, "There will always be another landfill cannot be the words that we live by." The time for the shift from a throwaway society to a conserving society has arrived. Recycling is the wave of the future. It is easy to recycle household goods and takes very little of your time. So please, sort your trash, and you could be among the many people who are setting a good example for the children of our future by telling them to sort their trash.